We've started with this massive challenge question of, can we create 100,000 homes for the people who need them most? It's a very ambitious goal. We had 5 lab cycles who've been working incredibly hard over the last 3 months, and I was worried about where they might get to.
For me, it really demonstrated the power of the Constellation Project Network. We witnessed firsthand, if we work together differently, think differently, act differently, that we can create change in this really intractable area.
I feel quite blown away about the ideas and the solutions that I saw.
When you get down to the more aggressive end of the model,
Indigenous-led and potentially Indigenous-owned as a housing model.
And what really crystallised things for me is that, we do know homelessness is everybody's problem. And the solutions came up with areas which individual citizens can implement, ideas that the corporate sector can implement, how institutional investment can work towards something, as well as government. So then, if you look at those individually, what is the power of putting those together?
So when we started with the social labs methodology, it was an experiment for us as well, because it's the first time we've actually used this approach.
Before we actually kicked off the social labs, I was quite trepidatious, to be honest, because it's I know it's a tried and tested methodology elsewhere, but it hasn't been done in Australia, it hasn't been done for homelessness.
it was tricky at the start. Again, it comes down to all of us had worked in different sectors and whatnot, but we learned more about each other, we kept an open mind, and everyone was hungry to learn.
We had 40 people engaged. Most of them gave up way more than 20% of their time.
I think collaboration is always hard, and we know collaboration is hard, and we've seen that play out through the lab process.
I think one of the hardest things about an emergent process is you have to be patient, and you have to let groups go through a process of really scanning what they're trying to do, maybe hitting some roadblocks, pivoting, throwing out ideas entirely. And there were certainly points along the way where people started to freak out that it wasn't working.
So what's been most surprising? I guess it's the quality of the output. I mean, it really is. I thought that if you had all those people doing that work for that amount of time, we'd come up with a next iteration. I didn't expect, and I was really surprised at how polished the end products are.
On behalf of the governance group, thank you all for the energy and the effort you've put in. Your day is done, ours is now beginning.
I think where we've landed is some incredible prototypes that need to be further developed, but what we actually have is a portfolio of ideas that we can feed together to think about how we might start to make some serious progress, bringing together governments, corporates, not-for-profits, philanthropy, and most importantly, people with lived experience to actually make a real dent in this 100,000 homes for people who need it most.
I'm terrified about where to start and what to do, because there are so many great ideas involving so many people. Which is the one we need to work on first? And how do we choose where to invest our time?
I'm looking forward to those 100,000 homes being built.
Look, their goal is still really ambitious. It's scary around, can we actually shift this?
I'm super excited, actually.
I think we're in a really good spot, yeah.